Hi everybody, let's spend 5 minutes to learn how to use the new contouring capability that came out in today's build of Release 9. You can try this out in Manifold Viewer as well. Just make sure to use the latest cutting edge build of either Viewer or Release 9 because like I say, this capability came out literally just a few hours ago and it's really exciting, it's really fast, it's wonderfully cool. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at the Hill Shaded Lake Wales Ridge project, which you can download from the product downloads page on the Manifold website, either for Viewer or for Release 9. And it provides a data set that's used in some of the examples in the user manual. I'm going to use it here because it's a convenient way to get a terrain elevation data set that anybody can download for free, and so we're all in the same picture. We're going to use it today to learn how to do contours. What we're looking at here is a terrain elevation in the center of Florida that's been colored using a palette. And it shows the Lake Wales Ridge area of Florida, which is right here, this ridge, which is some of the highest terrain in Florida. That's not saying much because the highest terrain in Florida is about 90 meters high. And Florida is a pretty flat state. And we're going to create contours here. We're looking at a raster data set. This is an image. It's not a vector drawing. It's an image. We're going to create a vector drawing that creates either contour areas or contour lines from this raster. So it's a classic raster to vector conversion. To do that, we're going to click on the Contents pane, and here I'm going to click on Transform. And in the Transform panel, here are my two new contouring templates, one called Contour Areas and one called Contour Lines. I'll click on Contour Lines, and right away it's going to start computing contours for us. Let's zoom in to see the detail that it did. As you can see, this is pretty high detail. And as it turns out, the default settings for this particular template, using a minimum height of 0, a maximum height of 100, and a step of about 10, work pretty well for creating contours for this data set, which has a minimum height of 0 meters and a maximum height of about 92 meters. I can change these values, and Manifold will immediately preview on the fly what it does. For example, with a step of 5, we see there's more detailed contours. A step of 2, there are contours that are only 2 meters apart. And Manifold will recompute these on the fly as I move this display around, so you can see it's extremely quick. This isn't a particularly large data set. It's only about 10 megabytes or so, but all the same, this is pretty cool how quickly it works. If we like, we can alter this so we can create contours, for example, from a height of 50 feet to 100 feet at a step of 2. Let's change that to step of 5, and let's create contours from a height of 0 to a maximum height of about, let's make it about 40. As you can see, Manifold will take whatever these values are and it'll immediately preview those the results for us. Let's reset that to 100, and let's reset the step to 10 so we don't create an overly busy display. And now I'm going to now that I'm happy with what I see, I'm going to create a new drawing from that by clicking Add Component. With datasets this size, the process is virtually instantaneous. And to see what that looks like, let's open up the map where this terrain elevation data set. I'll double click the map where the terrain elevation data set is featured. It's this layer right here called Florida. Right click and zoom into that. So here we see that terrain elevation data set along with some Google layers. There's Google Terrain as a background and a Google G Streets layer in the foreground. And so let's drag and drop the new contour areas drawing into that. And there we see the new drawing. We can see that it's in default formatting. Let's fix that. And we're going to fix that is by thematically formatting this according to height. If I open up the table for that drawing, we can see that in addition to creating geometric areas, Manifold also created the value min and value max fields. We're going to exploit those fields to do thematic formatting. So click on Contents, click on Style, and I have the focus here on the contour areas drawing. And I'm going to click on the fill color, and we're going to thematically format the fill color using value max. We're going to thematically format it using unique values. I'm going to control click here so that in addition to thematically formatting the fill color, I also thematically format the color that's used for the boundaries of the areas. And I'm going to use a color brewer palette here. I'm going to pick it here off screen from the very long list of available palettes. And now I'm going to click Update Style, and bang, there we have just automatically formatted the fill color and the border color for the areas that compose these contour areas. I don't particularly like this formatting because I really think that instead of the higher values being blue and green and the lower values being red, I'd like to switch that around. So let's Control A to select all these intervals, click reverse on that one, click reverse on that one, and now Update Style. And now that I think is a more appealing presentation, where we have blues and greens for the lower areas and reds and oranges for the higher areas. For example, like right here near Babson Park, where Iron Mountain, one of the largest, one of the highest points in Central Florida, is located with an altitude of about, I guess it's about 90 meters. Let's see exactly by alt-clicking that, and we can see that the value min and value max is, so that is indeed what we wanted to do. Now let's turn that one off, and let's create contour lines. Let's do that. Let's create contour lines for the same region. And to do that, we're going to go back in here to the transform panel again, and I'll click contour lines. And you can see it's previewing the contour lines, which are a little bit difficult to see with all that busy background. But what the heck? Let's add the component anyway. Let's create that component. And now you can see it's created a new drawing for me called the contour lines drawing. If we look at the table for that, we can see for each contour line there's a value for it. So let's thematically format that. And let's start by dragging and dropping the contour lines into position. I'm going to turn off this very complicated dem, and let's format this using let's use the same style we used earlier. We're going to format the line here using the value field. Once again, we'll format using unique values, choosing the color brewer spectral again. I won't bother reversing, I'll just leave it like that. And to make that appear a little bit better, what I've done is I've added the Canvas World dark gray base web server. So instead of using Google as the background, I use the Canvas World background. So that way we can see the contour lines that we've created for the area. Now, why this is slow, as you can see as I'm zooming out, that's because the Canvas World web server is that slow. That's not Manifold. Manifold is, of course, lightning fast at all this stuff. So there we have a view of Central Florida, along with the contour lines that we've created. At any time, we can turn those contour areas back on to see where those contour areas are, or go back to looking at the lines. So that was a little bit more than 5 minutes, but that's time well spent to learn how to do contouring in Release 9. In our next wonderful recording, what we're going to do is we're going to use a much larger drawing, so you can see how Manifold Release 9, when it does contours, will run about 60 times faster using parallel processing than just about anything else. We'll see how to do contouring in real time with a data set that's over 300 megabytes in size. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. Goodbye for Manifold Release 9 land. Well, that was fun. If you want to see more, visit us at www.manifold.net. As always, Manifold delivers the world's most advanced, highest quality spatial products for GIS and DBMS at a low price that you can afford. Once again, that's manifold.net. See you soon.